Welcome to another Tempo Storm Meta Snapshot. Following the latest balance patch, the top grinders have been trying out different decks, stumbling around trying to find what works best. We are here to help, so without further ado, let's look at Tier 1. Leading off Tier 1 this time around is Naga Priest. This archetype has been relatively popular for quite some time now, and it continues to see spikes in play across the ranks. This deck aims to fight for board, using cheap Nagas to enable Serpent Wig's effect, allowing you to go infinite on the buff. This deck's consistent speed allows it to overwhelm slower decks, especially Warlock. But both Control Paladin and Bless Priest can be rough for you, as the former can easily clear your board, while the latter can combo off faster than you can. The next and only other deck making an appearance in Tier 1 is Curse Warlock. This deck fights for the board early with cheap imps, then transitions to a burn plan with curses while stalling with removal. If you're ahead enough on board, cards such as Rafam can close out the game, and if you're not, then overwhelming your opponent with unblockable curses will surely wrap the game up. Its unmatched board presence means that other board-based decks, such as Imp Warlock, can't hold a candle to your strengths. But the Bless Priest is notorious for its strong mid-game, so if you don't present a strong board early, you are in for a rough time. Tier 2 is larger than Tier 1, and leading it off is none other than Bless Priest, an archetype that is notorious for making large boards out of nothing. The deck is fairly reminiscent of Inner Fire Priest and other combo-based priest decks due to the nature of buffing based on health and making larger minions than normally feasible. Bless Priest dominates both Curse and Imp Warlock as they struggle to retake board or deal with large taunts, making the boon-based priest deck a shoe-in for the win. On the other hand, decks with consistent removal, such as Control Paladin or Control Shaman, can just freeze or destroy your threats. The next deck in Tier 2 is Aggro Druid. This archetype has been around since what feels like the dawn of Hearthstone, and despite its gradual identity shifts, the deck continues to make a name for itself on ladder. It swarms, it attacks, and it wins fast. With this deck, your best matchups will come from decks that struggle with large boards, meaning decks like Big Beast Hunter will have a hard time competing with you. But control decks with nearly endless removal, like Control Paladin, can prove problematic. The last deck that we're taking a look at today is Big Beast Hunter. This deck is a true mid-range deck, playing out each turn as close to the curve as possible. By sticking to the curve and spending all of your mana, you can ensure that you end up ahead thanks to the powerful effects your cards have, as well as the ability to cheat out other threats earlier than intended. Big Beast Hunter has a good matchup spread, but tends to perform evenly in the majority of matchups, making it an extremely consistent deck. We recommend this deck if you want a stable ladder climb and aren't worried about gaining a significant edge in any particular matchups. We hope you enjoyed our standard meta snapshot breakdown. As always, we suggest checking out the rest of our report over at tempostorm.com. We thank you once again for continuing to support the channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time.